This is something we haven't done for a long while. We're going to go on an actual hike. The weather now is quite cool. It's about 20 degrees, 22 degrees in Albania. A lot better than it has been. So there's like a little lagoon area near us, which is kind of known for having birds and wildlife and stuff. Apparently there's flamingos as well. Not so sure they're going to be here. I don't know like the seasons, if they migrate or whatever, but we're going to go have a look anyway. There's a little monastery called St Mary's Monastery a couple of miles up the road, which you cross like this little wooden bridge. So we're no more than 2 minutes walk from the campsite where we're parked up, and we've already got to like the saltwater lagoon. So it's called the Nata Lagoon. Just over there is a load of beds, white beds just on like a mountain there. Leah's taking some pictures, so if she gets any I'll pop them in. It's about a 6-mile hike, something like that, about 3 hours if we take it steady. Pretty nice to be honest though. It's nice to get out and actually be able to do this again. It's, as I said, it's about 22 degrees, not too bad at all. It's not beating sun, there's a bit of cloud, so it should be a bit more comfortable today. It's not quite a bed, but there's a horse just ahead of us. Hopefully these are friendly horses. Much rather walk past horses than cows. We're about to find out if they're friendly or not. They are beautiful horses, aren't they? Hello. Survival intact, we're safe. We're heading towards the Nata Lagoon now. It carries on just round this way and then peels off to the right. Not so sure what this is, but obviously derelict. Maybe like a little old fishing hut or something. We've been walking about 10 minutes now, and we've just noticed, like, we just looked down at the path, thought, oh, it's just white stones everywhere and what have you, but it is actually loads of shells. So this lagoon obviously maybe acts as a floodplain, or it's receded a bit and left all these shells here because it is salt water, and apparently there's somewhere you can view crabs and stuff a bit further on as well. So this is what I'm saying about like what we thought were pebbles, but they are actually like the seashells here. Look, the wildlife walk has just really kicked off in spectacular fashion. We've just seen a little tortoise. Show you him now. What beautiful, just glancing and just seeing this tortoise, which is a good sign. I was hoping to see a snake, but I'll settle for a tortoise. So this is a little wild tortoise, Albanian tortoise. He's just gone in his shell. He's chewing a little leaf in there somewhere. Here he is, just popping out. Second tortoise spotted. Leah just did some rustling in the bush. Had a look down and we could just see it. Couldn't really get much of a picture of it or video before it ran into the shrubbery, but there is two. So yeah, we've seen a few. Well, yeah, it didn't really run as Leah's just reminded me. It kind of scuttled. So that's like a small little like landlocked part of the lagoon. And then just to the left where Leah's heading now, just around this side, is where the main lagoon is. Not so sure what this building is in front of us. It's not the monastery, that's a bit further on, but it looks like something we can kind of have a little explore near or around. So this looks to be some sort of old church. And on this, there's a cross up the top there. Not a lot around it, definitely looks abandoned. So there's been a slight flaw in our plan, in that we are on the path and our path continues over there, but they've just blocked it off. They've just fenced straight across the path. I don't know if it's like in Britain where they have like public rights of way, because if they do, they've just sort of ignored that and fenced it off for their own land. I don't suppose they will have. I'm just going to go and turn this tortoise over. Hopefully he's still alive. He's not still alive, it was just a shell, a hollow shell. So what I was saying just before I'd seen the stranded but also dead tortoise was that we're going to have to go back all the way. We've come past the monastery thing again, or the old church, back on ourselves again, back to pretty much where the campsite is to pick up the road we're now going to have to walk on. So I'd say it's probably going to take a good 20 minutes, half an hour to get to sort of that point again now. It's a shame, but it is what it is. At least we're not 9 miles into a big hike and then realise we can't do it, so that's the one blessing. Well, we've picked up the path now, or the road where we should have picked it up, and it was definitely the case that the relatively new house that had been built had just fenced through the footpath. So it took about 20 minutes, not an end of the world sort of thing, it's just a bit of an inconvenience. Heading up towards the monastery, it's about a mile away from where we are to the boardwalk, and then you walk across and there's like, I think it's quite like a little snaky path, a bit like around Derwent Water at the bottom end in Keswick. Another change to this route, probably nothing, but you might hear a dog barking. There's a big German Shepherd up there on like the derelict building. The minute we got anywhere close to the building, it ran forward, started barking. Not so sure it can get down, but we don't want to take the risk, especially here where like rabies is common and medical facilities and stuff. I think it's probably been overcautious, but we have heard of a few occasions where people in Romania and Turkey and stuff have been attacked by stray dogs slash feral animals, so we don't want to really risk it. Probably overcautious again, as I say, but I'd rather just delay the route or divert the route, then just take that chance. Don't fancy having rabies, to be fair. Probably just about it.
Someone's just told it off.
Yeah.
So I think there's somebody in there.
Maybe, but yeah, we're not going to risk it just in case. We're not too far now from the monastery. Just walking through this little town, Zavanek, I think. There's everything you could imagine, like growing. There's olives, there's pomegranates, there's lemons, there's figs. Everything. I've got my eye on a couple of pomegranates I've seen. Beautiful and right, ready to go, so I'm going to try and pick them on the way back. One thing as well with Albania, there's these bunkers all over the place. There's two. There's one there, and there's one just in the corner of this building there. And them bunkers are the remnants from the old dictator. I'll put his name in now, I can't quite remember. Figures estimate between, the higher ends estimates 750,000 bunkers. Most historians seem to agree somewhere between 250 and 300,000 bunkers in Albania. It's actually the second most tunnelled country after North Korea. In fact, Albania got most of its tunnelling plans and its bunker plans from North Korea. The story kind of goes that the dictator was like paranoid, absolutely paranoid about a nuclear war, and he wanted everything he could to sort of protect himself and his generals. I don't think he really cared about the people from what I've read, but more for himself. And there's a big bunker in Tirana where we're going to go next. There's two actually. One of them's more of an art establishment in the centre, and then there's another one called Bunker 1 a little bit further out, which is a lot bigger and kind of a lot more as it was at the time. I think there's 106 rooms in there. There's like an old cinema, and it's basically as it was when it was left, pretty much. They've obviously done a little bit of refurbishment just to bring us up to standard, but we're looking forward to going to that. So St Mary's Monastery has sort of come into view. It's just over there, I'll show you now, but our view is one of the farmers is burning some goods, so it's kind of pretty hard to see. I mean, he's burning here, the monastery's just over there. We'll see it once we're around this corner. There's the monastery just coming into view now, this like pink building. So there's not really a lot going on, but now next stop's the boardwalk. Going to head across there. There's a few people on it, but not many. That's one of the benefits of coming out of season. Don't know if you can see this, but there's a few crabs in here. One or two over there. One just down there. Definitely blue crab. Oh, that was quite good. We've just sort of seen 3 or 4 little blue crabs swimming around there. They're unbelievably fast, to be honest. I did hear you can see the crabs around here. So I've arrived at the boardwalk. We're just going to head down now to the monastery. See this little boardwalk in front of us here? It says just be careful because there might be a few loose planks. From this point it looks like the full thing's imploded on itself. So it'd be rude not to sort of have a little explore over there. Now I don't think we'll get on it, but the views of the monastery are starting to open up a little bit now. There is a bit of a dress code. It doesn't say what, it just said wear appropriate clothing. We've both got shorts on, so I'm assuming that that should be okay. So this is the boardwalk where it said there were a few loose planks. Now this bit ain't too bad personally. I mean, this is all right under here, and then as you get to this bit it just starts changing ever so slightly, and then this main point here, which is where you're supposed to sort of tread carefully, is, you see, it's probably not as safe as you'd like it to be, so we'll just leave it at that. There's a bit of a crab fight going on here. I'm not so sure what you'll see because I can't see very well myself. There's a third one coming in to join the party. Here we go, they're going to clash. Blue crab fight. Better than an episode of Gladiators, this. Across the bridge, we're heading to the monastery area now. The monastery is actually further back. The pink buildings are just some of the outbuildings. Not so sure how much it is. Whether we'll be allowed in or not is another thing, but we'll find out. I mean, there are signs saying like no photography, no videos, but everybody's taking pictures and videos. There's also signs what say no shooting. So I think the lesser of two wheels will probably mean shooting a few pictures. But it is in like a beautiful little grounds, like a little area. It's only small. Just thought I'd have a quick peruse on Google Maps before we left this little island. Don't take the piss because I said peruse, Leah. Yeah, she is. Because I chose this. Well, we're having a quick peruse, and what we found is there's like a bunker on this next little bit of island which curves around here. A bunker around the back, which apparently you can go in and explore. Not so sure how much of it you can do, but there's a couple one smaller one and the bigger one, which is what we're going to go look at, as well as a lighthouse. So I thought, while we're here, we may as well do it. You can walk it from the campsite, so I thought may as well just do that. Gets us out for the day, gets a bit of fitness up, because we need to build that up. So this is the way to the bunker and maybe the beach. Well, we're almost at the bunker now, and we've just come out to like this little bit of sea, this little bit of coast down here. Not a beach area, but bunker's just up there. Lighthouse is just in the distance, just behind me over there. There's a lot of cows knocking around, but they all seem to be pretty friendly. They don't seem to be that bothered about us. So somewhere in this vicinity is the bunker. I think it's on this side, just to like the right of this car here. We'll have a little look. It looks like it's the type of place you'd find a bunker, and that looks very bunkerable over there. Oh shit, I fell down a little hole. Yeah, the bunker is there, where you see the blue thing, and then past the cow, that's where the bunker is. But I'm hoping to try and not startle it. Well, that was the cow. Totally gone past. More interested in eating the grass than bothering us, to be fair, but you never know. It's always a little bit unsure with cows. We had an issue in the North Yorkshire moors before, where there was a lot of cows interested in us, and every time we went towards the path, there was pretty much coming towards us, couldn't get past them. So we just thought, like, always err on the side of caution. Don't want to be a statistic. If all else fails, send Leah first, because she's smaller. So this is the start, like the bunker area. There's two bits, there's this bit and then a little bit further on you might see. You do need a torch, I think, by the looks of it, with some information and stuff. We'll have a little look. There's the one further back we'll go explore and see if we can get into it from there. They have done them pretty well, to be fair, like with the colouring, and there's some information. There's another little, there's a few actually on the coast a bit further on, but I think we can have like exploring here, so we'll see if we can have a look. What's down there, Leah? A big hole. Oh, that's good.
Look, that looks a bit ominous.
It does. There's a big hole there with hooks. It does look very ominous, but
For meat?
it could be for meat. It could be for humans. Who knows? So yeah, this is like the old Cold War bunkers. Little rooms in here, dotted around all over. You see, it just carries on going for quite a way. To be fair, I think this is going to lead round to the next one. To be fair, it's not totally pitch black. We're just making sure there's no holes in the floor or anything. There's definitely been cows in here though, because there is cow pat on the floor. I'll put my torch on. Leah's a little bit freaked out. It is dark in here, to be honest. People were right in saying that you need a torch, because that is pitch black. Over there is pitch black. Our torch isn't good enough to do it justice, so I think we'll probably have to cut the exploring short here. There's a hobbit in this bunker. Oh no.
That joke.
It's just you, isn't it, Leah? Silly me, eh? What a fool.
I'll shove you in that hole if you're not careful.
I'd rather not. It does look not the best.
Oh, like, there was one of them big metal hooks over there as well. Genuinely, it is creepy.
It is a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Better off not going. But although that being said, the views are good if you're sort of dangling there for spike. The other thing, a lot of these are kind of flooded in the entrance, so we can't get up. But it looks like I've finally found Bruce Wayne's lair. Look, this looks like the Batcave. We've just seen what we think are like the local farmers rounding up the cattle, spread all over the place. I didn't expect to see one here. There's a couple behind us in the distance, but this one here, it's like normally where I'd expect a sheep to get. I'll just show you where he is. He's just there with a mouthful of grass. I mean, how the hell's he got there? Why is that bit of grass any better than the bits up here where it's kind of accessible? Well, we visited the bunkers, popped up to the lighthouse. Not really worth seeing. There's a big military installation up there, so you couldn't really go too close to it. Picked up a little stray dog on the way with us for a little while. She pissed off as soon as she saw a male, left us all to ourselves, which is quite good really, because we don't like it when they follow us, because you feel like they get attached to you a little bit. Walking past the house, a dog just popped its head out the fence snarling at us. Luckily it couldn't get out, but this is very much a thing like Albania. When you've got wild dogs around, you are on edge because you don't quite know the temperaments. They're either really fine or just aggressive. There's no in between that we found at any point. So it's always a little bit nervy. I need to learn, because they're starting to get in my head, the dogs now, a little bit, and I don't know if I like it, because I love dogs. So we're pretty much back at the start now. This morning, been out about 4 hours. This is the little like block building near the campsite. 3-4 more minutes and we'll be at the site. Both going to rest up, because didn't realise how unfit we are, in that we've both got blisters on our feet, our legs are aching. Next few months, as the weather's cooling, we're going to hopefully get some more hikes in and start increasing our fitness. Campsite's just starting to come into view now. Much to Leah's pleasure. Yeah, Leah's picked up a couple of blisters, so they're giving her a bit of pain at the minute. So we're almost there, get back, relax. I'll show you the campsite quickly, and then it was on a previous video last year as well. I'm not sure which one it was, so I'll put a little note in here so you can go back and check that out if you want. But yeah, it's a lovely little campsite. It seems a lot quieter today than it was yesterday, but still only early. It's like 4 o'clock now. Last night it was busy. There were still vans coming in at 9-10 o'clock. So this is the campsite, Eco Camp Valona. It's basically just a clearing, or like a bit of a clearing in the forest. You can park anywhere. There's little cabins you can rent. There's a bar there. There's a kitchenette area. They do a fire every night. Bring some meat in from local butchers, which you can buy and barbecue yourself. You'll get an impression like of how quiet the campsite is currently. Our van's just over there. So there's a van just in the little clearing there, tucked away nicely. Another van there, that one there this morning. We've also got our little mate here. This little cat's been amongst us. He was here last year, as well when we came. Hello. Well, we have arrived in Tirana, a very wet and rainy Tirana, but it's only for today, so we're just going to have a van day and we're going to go explore Tirana over the next couple of days.